Welcome to Extraordinary. I'm your host, Thai Legend. Today on Extraordinary, imagine a world on the brink of starvation, where a single person's actions could tip the scales between life and death. Today, we uncover the untold story of a humanitarian hero whose relentless dedication came at an unimaginable personal cost, leaving you questioning what sacrifices you're willing to make to change the world. Imagine a world where survival hangs by a thread, where the distance between life and death is measured not in miles, but in wheat stalks. This isn't a story from some distant past. This is a story that touches you right now in ways you've never understood. Picture a wheat field near the border of India and Pakistan in 1965. Distant explosions punctuate the air. Artillery fire tears through the landscape. War rages, yet here in the midst of chaos stands a single figure. His hands weathered, calloused, strong, meticulously examine a wheat stalk. This is Norman Borlaug. And he knows something you're about to learn. That true revolution happens not with guns, but with seeds. You might think hunger is just an abstract concept, a statistic, but for Norman, hunger was a visceral, terrifying reality. Growing up during the Great Depression in rural Iowa, he watched grown men beg for food. He saw milk being dumped while people starved. These weren't just memories. They were a call to action burning inside him. Little did anyone know how prophetic those words would become. Norman's childhood wasn't soft, it was brutally hard. On a non-mechanized farm, every day was a battle against nature. His hands learned early what most never understand. Progress isn't given, it's earned, inch by grueling inch. Wrestling became his first battlefield, not just a sport, but a philosophy. This wasn't just about pinning an opponent. This was about understanding that true strength is relentless persistence. Fate has a strange sense of humor. Norman was about to start a forestry career when budget cuts intervened. A chance lecture on plant diseases would redirect his entire life's trajectory. Where others saw interruption, he saw opportunity. Mexico, 1944. Imagine arriving in a place where you're seen as a crazy foreigner, speaking broken Spanish. Farmers looking at you with pure skepticism. But Norman didn't just talk, he acted. He strapped himself to a plow, worked the fields alone. The locals, initially dismissive, slowly took notice. Here was a man who didn't just theorize, he got his hands dirty, literally. His revolutionary shuttle breeding program was nothing short of agricultural magic. Testing wheat in 2 locations simultaneously, he cut development time in half. This wasn't just science. This was a radical reimagining of what was possible. The labs were primitive, the fields unforgiving, political unrest swirled around him like dust. In India and Pakistan, the challenges would have broken lesser men. Customs delays, riots, the constant threat of war. But for Norman, these weren't obstacles. They were invitations to prove what was possible. Imagine orchestrating massive seed shipments while knowing that millions of lives hang in the balance. His methods met resistance, cultural barriers, skeptical governments, logistical nightmares that would make most people surrender. Not Norman Borlaug. During the 1965 India-Pakistan War, he worked in fields within artillery range. When informed he'd won the Nobel Peace Prize, he refused to leave. This wasn't heroism as you might imagine it. No dramatic speeches, no grand gestures, just quiet, relentless work. If you're enjoying Extraordinary, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, The Breakthrough Blueprint. Turn setbacks into comebacks using tactics of great underdogs like Stephen Hawking and Lincoln. Now, back to the episode. His work wasn't just agricultural, it was alchemical. Mexico transformed from importing half its food to becoming an exporter. Pakistan's wheat production doubled in 5 years. India's agricultural landscape shifted from predicted mass famine to self-sufficiency. These weren't just numbers, these were lives saved, entire societies transformed. But transformation always comes with a cost. Norman's dedication meant long separations from his family, primitive living conditions, constant travel across remote, challenging terrains. His wife Margaret would drive hours just to deliver critical messages. He wasn't seeking glory. He was solving a problem that most of the world preferred to ignore. By the 1980s, something strange happened. Environmental groups began attacking his methods. The man who had saved potentially 1 billion lives was now being criticized. This was a man who understood that perfect solutions don't exist, only better ones. Here's what Norman's story means for you. It's not about being a global hero. It's about understanding that change happens in the trenches. Not in boardrooms, not in speeches, but by getting your hands dirty. Your challenges might not involve feeding millions, but they involve something just as important: solving the problems right in front of you. Norman didn't wait for permission, he didn't seek recognition. He saw a problem and he solved it. One wheat stalk at a time, one field at a time, one country at a time. When Norman died in 2009, he was mourned quietly, not with massive state funerals, but by the millions whose lives he had transformed. The farmers in Mexico, the families in India and Pakistan, the generations who would never know hunger the way their parents did. So here's your challenge. Look around you. What problem are you uniquely positioned to solve? What challenge requires you to get your hands dirty? Where can your specific skills, your unique perspective, create transformation? Norman Borlaug didn't set out to be a hero. He set out to solve a problem, and in doing so, he changed the world. Your move. The wait is waiting. The world is waiting. Are you? On the next episode of Extraordinary, imagine a world where one person's unconventional journey could forever change our understanding of another species, just as Norman Borlaug transformed global agriculture. Next week, we dive into the extraordinary story of a young woman who defied societal norms to revolutionize primatology. If you thought Borlaug's dedication was inspiring, wait until you meet the oddball who turned the scientific world upside down. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, The Breakthrough Blueprint. 7 days, 7 ordinary to extraordinary transformations. Rewrite your story using the exact frameworks that built empires from nothing. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/EO. Thanks for watching.